I feel safe going Philippines here with like the split driveway, the trike, the white and yellow inners. Presumably, okay, the presumably trike, but then also like the tropical trees. But like if it's South America, bruh, I told you so. That was a good guess. Honestly, that's way better than I thought it was gonna be. Way better than I thought it was gonna be. All right. This is gonna be New Zealand here. We got a New Zealand bollard right here. Very thin. It like you can literally see the shape of it. It's so thin, and it's like a half moon shape. Almost probably 90%, like realistically, over 90% of the time, you're not gonna be this close to a New Zealand bollard to be able to tell the like half moon shape of it. But you'll probably be able to at least put the pieces together that it's thin. Like, I don't know, like, they just look thin, you know, when they're in the distance, which is where they are most of the time, like, realistically. This is just kind of a nuts around because we spawned with it like that or something. Actually, we can check. We spawned with it like that. But yeah, as far as... Oh, wait, I need to finish describing the ballers, bro. Basically, we got long white post with the white that goes through the middle of the red that wraps all the way around the thing, you feel me? But that's only on the left side. On the right side, you will not see that white line through the red, and it will just look like a red square. On the left, you will see the thin bollard, tall and skinny, red part line through it, New Zealand. It also looks like Chile in terms of vegetation. Keep that in mind. I don't know if... I'm not expecting all of you to be the skill level to where you would recognize, like, Chile vegetation enough to, off of memory right now, be like, oh yeah, this looks totally like Chile vegetation. But just keep it in mind. Because Chile also does have, like, sometimes this is a 50-50. I'm actually going to put that out there that rural New Zealand with no bollards, only vegetation and road lines can sometimes look like Chile. Like the vegetation to me looks extremely similar, and sometimes the landscape does too. Bollards save me a lot, but also this looks very similar to a Chile pole, like at first glance, you know? So, like, if you're under a lot of pressure, you can make this mistake and make this like, with like, if you zoom in here, boom, you give this to me, you, like, put me under a lot of pressure, boom, you give this to me, I am New Zealand, Chile, 50-50, low-key. Genuinely, at a Master 2 level, that's a 50-50 off rip under pressure for me. I'm gonna be, like, so honest, and like, I feel like that's worth bringing up. But yeah, just keep that in mind. The super orange signs on the, like, thick white signposts like this, with, like, it almost looks cartoonish in terms of, like, the font that they use for, like, the exclamation mark. I feel like there's other symbols that they use with this same exact font on some warning signs, which are usually all, I believe, gonna be this same orange color. That's not in Chile. Chile, you're gonna get very different signs. Hopefully I'm gonna get a Chile round after talking about it. But yeah, like, dude, this right here, Chile 50-50, bro. I'm gonna be so for real. I'm gonna lean New Zealand because of the purple camera distortion, as well as the, like, the overall, like, sorry, general, the overall general, like, texture, the texture of the hill. The texture of the hill. I'm trying to get rid of the trees and imagine the texture, which is a little bit possible to do right here. It looks similar to Brazil. which actually is kind of cooking me. That's probably why it looks like Chile sometimes with this vegetation. That's actually really good to, like, catch for myself. Like, I don't know if it's good for you guys, but, like, it's good for me. Maybe this, like, I'm assuming it's, like, some sort of natural disaster siren. Being from, Michigan, United States, which is, like, it's like on the border of like the middle of Tornado Alley in the US. Like that would be a tornado siren where I live basically. Which is why I almost said that. But I'm also going to assume okay, so New Zealand wraps their poles in this silver sort of I'm assuming it's some sort of wrap. Like I don't think it's paint. It really, really, really doesn't look like paint. It looks like a metal plate or something, but it's light silver. And that I think a reason that at first glance you can think it's Chile sometimes is because Chile does have concrete ladder poles, but sometimes Chile paints the bottom white. But also they're lacking the steps of the ladder, like Brazil ladder poles or Spain or France ladder poles, for example. That's good to know. Anyway, let's guess. I don't know New Zealand at all, so let's After all this talk, bro, I just kind of want to line it up with Chile, bro, because it really does look like Chile vegetation-wise, but like this area. If we just follow Earth's curvature. Alright, it almost worked. I mean, it placed us halfway up the island, so... Sure. Alright, right off the bat. Very nice road. Kind of reddish tinted dirt. At least reddish relative to whatever we just had. Very reddish. Reddish trees, too. All white road lines with, like, signposts and then circular signs and triangular signs that appear to have red borders and this type of sign baggage, which is very common in Europe, paired with the all-white road lines like this. We're driving right, which, I mean, I wasn't debating any country that drives left, which would be, like, in Europe, the UK, Ireland, Malta, maybe Cyprus, too? But that's it, and, I mean, that's not this, so... With the reddish trees, as well as the reddish dirt, it puts me in this region. This region of the world is quite reddish. I'm genuinely thinking of going Russia solely as a plonk because I'm actually not. I'm not sure. I could see this being like Finland, like here, but it looks like more of a main road. And if we're going east, I guess it would. Looking at the maps here, it would make more sense for it to be in Russia here, somewhere like here. So let's look at the like terrain real quick. So we got small hills, very straight road, very dense forest. But the trees, something about them is like not dense. Nothing about these trees is dense. And I'm assuming that's why the trees are so densely put together, because they're like so thin and it looks like they don't spawn very many leaves. And this is probably this type of tree looks very recognizable. But I don't know where it belongs to. So this is going to be a learn with me, bruh. I'm thinking it's going to be more up here, actually. Okay, we would have been closer where we were. But It was Russia. It was West Russia. Russia is just so hard. Even I am so bad at Russia, bro. This looks very similar to what we just had. If you only look at the trees that I was talking about, that I zoomed into and said, these trees look very recognizable, but I'm not sure where they belong to. Put a dirt road there. Put a dirt road there and make every single tree that tree. I'm just going to treat that as we're further north in the same country. Honestly, bro, that is like a great example of not overthinking in this game. That is just enough thinking as you need to do. That is pattern recognition plus exclusion of overthinking allowed me to go where that round just was, but more north, which is kind of exactly where I went last round, which was closer this round. Which, I mean, you know, I don't know if that teaches you if that teaches you anything. Sorry. This looks like that South African bird poll I was talking about in Learn With Me episode 1. That's another one. And then where was that? That was northeast. I think it's everywhere though in South Africa, if I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, it's seemingly everywhere. According to this, I only knew that it was South Africa, but so sun is northeast. That was the first thing I looked at. Now I'm looking at the car, and it looks like small cam, Gen 4, cows in the field, red soil on the honestly everywhere, pines, which tells me we're either pretty far south or pretty far north, which mixed with the super white dirt, the small cam, the brick buildings that, like, dude, I don't even know how to explain them. They're just really basic. They're so basic. It's like you tell a second grader to draw a building, and this is what they draw, but then they color it outside of the lines, and it probably doesn't look quite like this, but you get the idea. Oh, this is a good catch. This polar right here, black and yellow, black and white striped, black back, plus sun in the north, as well as this landscape, plus small cam, really, really, really narrows it down to Argentina 100%. I mean, Peru. Sorry if that was confusing. Oh my goodness, bro. Okay, so this is in South America, Peru only. Always, I believe. Always only Peru. Always only Peru when you see that. So then to get South America, the sun is towards the north. You can see on the compass here that the sun is towards the north, which does mean that we are in the southern hemisphere where Peru is. This landscape with quite dry and honestly like Lesotho or South Africa looking hills, really, really points you to like this region of the Andes, Peru included. The cows you can find all around South America, like in this region, I believe. Big region. But yeah, the sign pole's a big clue. And then the brick, La Paz is a sea of brick. Let me show you this real quick. It's entirely brick, bro. Look at this. The whole city is brick. Bolivia makes, like, if you see a lot of brick and you're in South America, and you have no idea where it is based on other clues, going around, like, this area is always an amazing guess. Because everywhere around the La Paz area, even into Peru, even into Chile, it all has that sea of brick everywhere, which is very apparent here. I feel like maybe those roofs are appearing green to me, but maybe I'm just, like, tripping. But yeah, so based on that, I'm gonna go Peru near Bolivia. Great guess. See? Great guess. We got 2 Russia guesses, and then guessed wrong island on New Zealand. Opposite side of South America. Had a good Peru guess, though. And we got 16K. Honestly, I'm not too upset about that 16K. Which, like, 16K is honestly, like, for me. But that 16K, I'm pretty proud of, I think. I think that was a pretty good 16K. I believe, so, these road lines plus this road is, like, US Canada, as well as the fields on each side, like, kind of the side of the road, like the gravel. I'm just kind of, like, I've played this game enough to, like, be sort of trained to what, like, the gravel color and texture looks like in North America as a continent, you know, relative to, like, Europe or, like, South America or, like, Asia, you know. But then, so that just all of this, and then the trees too, make me think, like, further, a lot further north, it clearly gets cold enough to where all the leaves fall off the tree. The only trees with color are evergreens, which are found in very cold weather environments, like pines, you know. So then plus road lines, it's making me think, like, literally this is a Canada US, like, northern US 50-50. So based on this poll, I'm not actually forming any sort of conclusion off this. I'm just, like, zooming into it, and I don't know why I started that sentence like that. But, like, I feel like I've seen something about this sort of middle thing where it, like, goes up and then you can see it, like, kind of comes out from, like, the post that it's attached to. I don't know. Like that insulator. That sign looks really thin, and I feel like it'd be a lot fatter if we were actually in Canada. But then again, the white with the little black thing on top, sort of insulators, really makes me lean on it. Honestly, bruh. That's why, bro. We were literally Canada on the border. Like, that was just a really hard round. I don't know. There's really not much I could explain there. Looks like low-key not Spanish. It looks like Brazil. But let me look at it again. Yeah, that's not Spanish. Vehiculo. Well, I mean, you don't pronounce the H in Spanish, but, like, there is an H in the Spanish word for vehicle. Vehicula. Where do you see all this cotton? Like, where do you see all this cotton? Flat, sun, north. Car makes me think Brazil. However, it could be. No, it's going to be Brazil. Where do you see cotton? Where do you see cotton in Brazil? Wow, way up there in Tocantins / Bahia border. Interesting. We're gonna 5K this real quick. It's South Africa based on this sign. The highway starts in R under the green, yellow, and white sign, with the highway in yellow, the white border, the white arrows, the white text, the green background. Under it, you have red arrow spam on white background. That's called red on white chevrons. That held up by 3 signposts. I don't know why the right one's metal, but like, yeah. What the? What? What is that? Oh, this is a way better one. Johannesburg is one of the 3 capitals of South Africa. Evelyn. So R57 M1. I believe. Oh no, N1. Sorry. I believe the N's are these white ones, and then R57 should show up R57. That's R557. R. Wait, where's 57? Wait, okay, let's find N1 first. Okay, wait. Let's look around. Boom. Okay. Where does it look like? Wait, over here. Does the one go over here? Nice. R 50 357 59 59. Wait. 1 58. I need to find 57. 57. 56. Stop. Bro, where is it? No. Like, actually, I'm about to make this map bigger. Let's find the cities. Johannesburg. That way. Vandenberg, Evelyn. Evelyn? Wait, what? Bro, where are the 5s? Where are the 5s? I'm in a different country. Where are the 5s? Oh my god. Five 3. Oh my god, where? Nope. Holy fuck. R42? Where's R42? Oh. Where's Pars? Alright. You know, that was oddly hard. We almost 5K'd it though. Like low key. Some to the northeast. This looks like that Chile vegetation I was talking about, but the hell is that? The sun's tweaking. We're in Europe. These are European bollards. They look circular on the top, so I'm just gonna go Estonia. Like, I'm not even gonna think. Holy shit! No! Wait. Oh my god, that's peak refrainment from overthought. I'm gonna be so honest. We got that 2-section road coming in Southeast Asia, specifically Thailand, Philippines, sometimes Malaysia. I mean, sometimes Indonesia, sorry. That's a Thailand flag, haha. I mean, I would have gone Thailand anyways. I was just trying to find something to, like, explain why I thought that. I kind of got it off vibes, I'm not gonna lie. I got it off the concrete road, split into two. I mean, I guess this is low-key a typole, a square typole. I believe concrete, and then it's got holes on all 4 sides. But yeah, vegetation really dry, really red. Cambodia is oftentimes redder, though. So if it looks like Thailand, but it's like not quite Thailand, like it doesn't have Thai poles or anything, go Cambodia. You might end up on Sri Lanka if you don't have language. Like, it might end up being Sri Lanka. Sometimes I feel like I do that. Sometimes I feel like I do that. Dude, the face cam's gotta like go more towards my face. I'm gonna be so for real. But yeah, I don't know. Where in Thailand though? I don't have Thailand region vibes, but it looks like North Vietnam. Just central Thailand, I guess. Sure. Alright, now that was a pretty good game. This guess was nuts. This Estonia guess was insane. I just kind of assumed off the blur. This is what I'm talking about, though. This is like, at the beginning of the video, there was a New Zealand round. Where I said that most rounds you won't be able to tell, like, the exact shape of the bollard, but after enough time, and like, after enough times of you seeing, like, the different bollards, and, like, you know, really paying attention to what ones, like, were in what locations and what countries, you start to get a really good, like, really solid feel for it. And I was able to determine that the tops of these bollards here, like the very top, I was able to determine that they were a circle based on just, like, the structure of all of it. And, like, based on the fact that this was orange, I couldn't really tell, but I totally assumed because, you know, just the ratios, like, Germany bollards, like I was saying, the black part is almost exactly the same height as the part above it, which is, like, almost exactly the same height, the black and the top part, as the part below it. But that's not the case here. This is a different bollard. This isn't Germany, so this might not be white. If it was like the Germany ratios, though, I'd assume this was probably white, and the camera made it look orange. But here, I think it is orange, and let's actually go down the road. Why did it do that? Oh, yeah, right here. Boom! Like I was saying, orange. I just assumed that. And actually, is the top circular? It is. The top is circular, and you can actually see it here. That's very beautiful. But you just start to get a feel for the bollards based on the different, like, ratios of it and everything. It's all just ratios and all of, like, kind of visual memorization. But putting it into ratios, in my opinion, makes it a lot easier to remember things in this game. Let's play the next round. Right now, pines. Pines, both sides of the road. Pines everywhere. Pines only. Pines are the only trees that I see, literally. Like, this is going to be pretty north. It's going to be north. Whether it's going to be, like Russia. I mean, maybe not that north in Russia. But, like, because there's, like, literally no roads up there. There's maybe some tigers and polar bears and stuff up here. That's probably about it. Maybe some crazy, like, Ivans. But that's about it. I don't know. I'm just thinking that this could also be Canada. It could be anywhere in the Nordics. Those are the only places I'm seeing. I could see in Alaska. They recently did Alaska. Fuck. I don't know Alaska well enough, though, to feel comfortable going Alaska ever. I know Alaska's flag. It's got, like, the Big Dipper on it and shit. So, like, I mean, that's... Like, if I see an Alaska flag, I'll go Alaska, but... I feel like the tops of these trees should be memorable. Memorizable? I don't know. Like, dude, holy. They got their own natural, like, Christmas tree topper. Like, in shape. Like, these pines don't have the same topper thing that these do. Like, these toppers are crazy. That's gotta be something that I need to pay attention to. You guys pay attention to it as well. I need to, and you need to as well. That's how you get better at this game. You just, like, see stuff and then pay attention to it, and then, you know, you just keep it in mind. Like, in the first video, I'm keeping the yellow guardrails in mind on top of the, like, the white painted concrete rails, you know? Boom. I'm not assigning anything to them like I'm assigning to the super cooked trees that I zoomed into in the distance. But I'm keeping them in mind. I haven't seen them again, though. So... they're not common. Well, maybe I've seen them in, like, a way different environment, but, like, in that type of landscape and stuff, I have not seen them again. I'm lost. I'm between... Wait, let me look at sun. Sun south, so we are north. Yeah. It could be anywhere. Like, I'm literally debating Nordics, middle of Russia. I doubt it's middle of Russia, actually. But no, it's not there either. It could be, like, over here, though. It was just Canada. Oh. Okay. Okay. We paid attention enough on that. We paid enough attention on that round for me to just, like, not. Just, I'm gonna forget about that for now. That's just kind of annoying. Like, I'm not gonna lie. That's a stupid 50, bro. I need to lock in on that and then also, like, make a video on 50s. Because somebody commented on, like, the first video I posted saying that they kind of wanted me to do a video on 50s. And I thought it was a really good idea because it is. That's what I'm gonna cover. I'm gonna cover that. Like, at my level, bro, I feel like there is, like a crazy Norway, Canada 50-50. Like, North Norway, Canada 50-50 is, like, real. Holy, this one is just... I feel like I see really faded orange lines here. And then mixed with, like, the... Like, I might be tweaking there, but, like, everything combined is making me see faded orange lines there. Concrete 2-section roads. Boom, boom. We got 3 of them. Barako. This, I think there's another wheel on the other side there, and that might be a trike. But actually, that's not the same trike I was talking about. This, I think, is a trike. This is a trike. This is a trike. I think that's what a trike is. I'm gonna pay attention. I'm gonna pay attention to these light posts. They got concrete on the bottom holding them in. Hella vines on this pole here. Trident style pole, which is like bar. On each end, you got one insulator that sticks up, and then in the middle, you got the post that goes up a little bit past the crossbar, and then it's got an insulator on top, making sort of like a trident shape, you know? Landscape looks Philippines enough, Southeast Asian enough to feel comfortable going Philippines. I believe, are these lampposts... I can't tell if they're hexagonal or not, or octagonal, whatever they usually are in the Philippines, but, like, I think this pole is actually octagonal. I'm gonna go Philippines here. We're driving right, so it's not Indonesia or Thailand, which it doesn't look like Thailand, maybe Indonesia, but maybe I'll go South Island. Ooh, it was Palawan. Interesting. What told us Palawan? Probably just streets lined with this exact... Did that trick? Or not? Tuk-tuk. Tuk-tuk. That's a tuk-tuk. Honestly, why is it so short and stubby, bro? I thought it fell over. From back there, it looked like it fell over. That's a trike. That's a trike, 100%. Alright, I mean, I don't know what to look for there to, like, learn Palawan. Here we got CN, Phillips Road, English, and, US, Canada stop sign. What is that? I don't know, this doesn't tell me anything. Road lines don't tell me anything. It's quite red. Pines, vegetation saying north. With, like... I mean, it's more red and pines. Like, it's just cold weather plants that you kind of get a feel for as you play the game. These are some crazy insulators. I don't know. Mailbox. I mean, I feel like... I don't know if it's actually a real meadow, but I feel like mailboxes at the end of driveways are so much more common at every single house in the US than they are in Canada. But that might just be like, that might not be real. I might be making that up. This box low-key looks like the one in my yard. This road. Wait, I think that's 2 words on that sign. So that would be speed limit as opposed to maximum. US, which, like, honestly, bro, I'm going North Michigan. Why was... Oh, shoot. They tell me Georgia, and all of a sudden it doesn't look north. What the... Wait, that's so weird. Why? Pines aren't automatically north, I suppose. Red dirt, I suppose, is never going to be north. But it is. It is, that's a lie. Dude, this is a stupid round, but maybe like this type of grass, bro. This grass is not north at all, ever. Honestly, this is sandy. That looks sandy, but like there's sand everywhere, low-key. Anywhere with water is gonna have sand, which is kind of lame. I guess this, like, is really thin, bro. It's like people with super thin hair. They just put their hair on the ground and made it green. That's a crazy way to put it, but like, yeah. I don't know. I think that was just a hard round, low-key. Off rip, this architecture, like, the colors of this, and like the window with this top section split into multiple parts that are split into multiple parts. On top of a window split into multiple parts that's bigger. But then also this window's also square. And I feel like it kind of ratios with that. And like all the squares on the house kind of ratio together. But then also like the floors are like made in ratio to that. It's all very squarular and very ratiometric in Japan, if that makes sense. This pole has like a skinny top, which I believe, what's the region called? It's a region of Japan called Chugoku, I believe, or Choguku. I don't know, but their poles kind of come to a point a lot like this. Japan very commonly has these like very like moss covered stone sidewalls that are not vertical. They're like angled like this. They may not be moss covered if they're well kept, but sometimes they're not. But they may not just be regular like random stones like this. They could be like decorated bricks or like decorative bricks like this. They're gonna have a lot of drainage tubes in them. So water can go through and it doesn't clog up, you know? And I don't know why. I'm just making things up. You got a different type of decorated brick. There's just a whole bunch of decorated brick. You got a whole bunch of these, like, square-yular vans. The white license plate like that. All just Japan, dude. It's so Japan. You look at this, and it's just Japan to me. But then, yeah, these, like, dark gray or dark brown roofs, or light brown roofs, even. But then just, the windows are so square-yular. Everything on the house is square-yular, apart from the roof. For the most part, there may be some circles to, like, throw some pizzazz into the squares. But, like, for the most part, it's all square-yular, bro. But then, yeah, this is, like, the Chogoku? I don't know, bro. I don't know how to say that. But it's, like, right here in Japan, I think. Nice. Nice. So this is Japan again. You got literally the same architecture, but it's clearly in a different spot. You see what I mean? This is that same house I was looking at, but just in like a different spot. So they use slightly different materials, and it looks a little bit different. Looks a lot more weathered. I don't know what that means. I'm just trying to take in as much as possible here. Sorry, I'm going silent, but like I'm thinking. These are very similar to poles I know, but I do not think that they are the poles I know that are very close to that same exact region I was just talking about, actually. They might be that same region, but they'll have like a thing that comes out, and then it'll be like a little cross. Like a T, like a lowercase English T-shaped. Or T-shape. I'm looking at these things right now. Oh, wait. No, it's not there. Yeah, I don't really know. This is tricky. It looks very tropical. So what if we're on, like, Okinawa? Nope, we're just on regular Japan. Haha, let's go. I don't know, maybe I'm just tweaking. But yeah, I feel like I'm starting to play brain dead, bro. We had a Norway... Like, these are crazy these are some stupid rounds. This was like a... That's the only round I'm, like, pretty proud of. This is, like, as far away from Philippines as it could have been Philippines. 12k is terrible, but, like, we got cooked by the seed. That was a really hard seed. I'm gonna keep it in a video, but, like, I'll probably end the video there. Yo, it's 50 minutes long. Well, anyway. Adios!